Welcome back to the stream, everyone. Hello. I'm just going to double check everything is operating correctly. Says it is. I'm getting no reports of any problems, so everything should be fine. Yeah, my day's been okay. Just been hanging with Dane and Fallout today, Berenson. And yes, welcome back to Winston Bay, and a lot has changed. I have spent all week doing homework on this park. So I thought I'd better show you around the changes. So I've now completed our little township area, complete with basketball court, complete with transport, which we'll get to in a minute, as well as some general buildings here, as well as obviously the church on the top there, which was there last time, but we've also got sort of something I imagine is like a health spa or a health retreat, you know, on the mountain top there. Got a nice little plaza here. And then on the other side of the map, so this was obviously the... Rob Earth hasn't seen this, but this was the enclosure we were building over here. It's now got a few more species living in it. We have a pack of Taurosaurus living here, and some Struthios as well now living here, as well as the Tropiognathus and the Antarctosaurus. Fluffy and co are doing just fine. This initial entrance area for tourists has now been completed with all the decoration necessary. Got the nice little plaza, seating areas, little fountains, gift shop, that sort of thing. This I've combined with for the entrance, so like the idea is that sort of a boat with tourists comes in, sort of actually docks inside of here and then comes out. Gives them a safe place away from the other ships to sort of do their business. And then over here we have the transportation for tourists visiting the island. They can pop on a jeep and they'll be driven all the way to the town over there and other places, which is what we're going to be doing today. Got a nice little roundabout decoration with the Mamenchisaurus, and we have top secret little research facility off the roundabout too, because I just think that's the sort of thing. In Britain, we have that sort of thing. In fact, Red Bull's Formula One factory is literally located off a roundabout like this. So, yeah, that's the inspiration for that. And I gave the sort of fishing area a kind of little storage site and sort of, you know, just a general a little bit more on the opposite side of the road. So, yeah, this area is coming along good. So, yes, Berenson. So, today, the plan is, if I come out of camera, is to kind of figure out how we're going to expand from here. So, I want the road to travel up this hill. Obviously, we've got a lot of terrain here. This area here, though, with the waterfalls and this river, I want to keep this as basically one open sort of dinosaur landscape. Potentially even include this upper section to it as well. So the actual road, I'm thinking, will come up this hill and come around here and then up this way and then around into this area here. The idea is, so there's these two roads going into tunnels here to try to make it look like it's going elsewhere. What I want to do is kind of have a tunnel exit somewhere up here to kind of infer that there's a tunnel leading under this river and round to up here. So that's the gist. Thank you, Untamable King. So I'm thinking this section of forest, we're just going to leave that as empty environmental. So we're not going to touch this forest, and we're not going to touch this forest. We're just going to leave that. And the road, I think, what I'm going to do, where's... Oh, yes, it is... yes, Father's Day for us in Europe. I don't really have to care about that, though. So, So I'm going to say that the road is going to come up this hill, head this way, through this kind of natural cutting, because I kind of want to try and keep some of the environmental stuff. And then I want sort of an area over here with, like, I don't know, some overlooking buildings, hotels, small town, overlooking this bit. And then the road is going to also peel off up here. I'm going to say let's try and keep it on that side of this ridge. And it'll then head off over here. So that's that, I think. Yeah. I'm going to probably remove a little bit of this forest. And I'm probably going to want to put some environmental details on this mountain here. You don't really celebrate Father's Day either, no. My Sunday Crazy Creature has been pretty fine, all in all. It's been a relaxed day. I think with this we can make it one. No, I think we'll have it come off the roundabout. I have to say, I'm absolutely loving having the Jeep transport going around the island. It really gives the island a little bit of life, even though obviously it hasn't got any guests in there because we're running the park with the guests off. It just adds a little bit of life to the park. Oh, this needs to be thinner, actually. I've used the wrong thickness of path. We're keeping the double lane road going up here. Obviously, once all the roads are in place, I'll expand the road system so that we can have jeeps going around more of the island. Yeah, please don't spam. I will keep a track on comments as much as I can. Have you seen that the Diabloceratops is confirmed for rebirth? I did, but I don't care about rebirth. That's why I haven't done or said anything about it. I hope it gets, you know, a proper scene, some proper attention, but I suspect that, like Dominion and its animals, I suspect that Rebirth is just going to treat it as another background creature just to bloat the film with. I have so I have so little interest in Rebirth at the moment. I just don't care about it. Okay, so there's our road going up. I do think we need to do a little bit of re-terraining here. Not much, but a little bit. This bit here could do with a little smoothing out, so it's more of just a constant incline. That's a bit better. I am thinking, just for some decorative detail, I want something up on this sort of. Oh, who is it now? Really, the Sinosauropteryx again. Okay, can I just say that in the entirety of this week, when I've been doing homework on this build, I have had not a single problem with any of the animals. They have been fine. The minute I come on stream, we're what, 12 minutes in, one of them is starving to death. This game hates me. Look, he needs food and water. He's just not been doing either of them. Stupid thing. Anyway, as I was saying, I feel like I want something up on this hill. Some sort of building. Just as a nice little environmental touch. And I'm thinking, since this is supposed to be the UK, I'm thinking, you know, abandoned castle or something similar to that. Kill him, Fletcher. Kill him now. I'm not Emperor Palpatine. Or Chancellor Palpatine, for that matter. Off with his head. A worthy sacrifice. Now, Untamable King, we're British. Well, I'm British. So we don't guillotine people, we burn them at the stake. As one of my favourite Blackadder quotes of all time is, cold is God's way of telling us to burn more Catholics. It's one of my favourite quotes from Blackadder. And if you've never watched Blackadder, I suggest that you do, because basically, if you watch all of Blackadder, you understand Britain, essentially. Right. Let's see. We need something castle-like. I mean, this could be, you know, maybe like an abandoned old ancient ruined church or something that's up on the hill. Like an old chapel. And maybe we could have like this little bit of lore for our island that the old one was bombed during World War II by the Luftwaffe, and they rebuilt the church over. Whoops, I hit my arm. They rebuilt the church on the other side of the bay. That's going to be our little bit of lore for this particular build. It's It's going to be like Coventry Cathedral, where the Luftwaffe bombed it. And it's kept as a ruin for, historical prosperity. And then it was rebuilt over the way. That's going to be something I would say that, like, we're all going to have to... For Jurassic World Evolution 3, people are going to have to, like, learn that that's going to be the sort of thing you have to do for the modular building. Like, you're going to have to think about why you're building what you're building. Like, yes, we can build anything with modular building, but you have to think about why you're building what you're building, and sort of what the purpose of that building is, and given its purpose, what does it have to look like? Yes, Luftwaffe. Well, given that World War II is kind of like my historical subject, it sort of makes sense that I would be able to say it. Also thanks to, War Thunder as well. Hence why I'm able to say things like Neubaufahrzeug and other such wonderful German vehicles. I think this kind of fencing works quite nicely for this, maybe. Let's put it there. Maybe the fencing should be... Maybe we should go with something that's a little, like, more... I wish we had, like, a stone. See, that is just, like, too much. If that didn't have, like, the cabling on top, that would be almost perfect. I think we're going to go with, like, this. This is looks a little more, like... Looks a little stronger than that cable and the logs, but at the same time doesn't look, like, oppressive. I struggle with modular building in Planet Zoo, and it's easier than what we see in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Yes. You know me, guys. I have my own thoughts about the modular building in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I can't really talk about the subject without sounding like a dickhead. Because my view of it is the people that have screamed the loudest for modular building and are currently screaming the loudest about how good the modular building will be are people who don't build or play or even know really how to use modular building games. A great majority of the people that are currently screaming about modular building and how great it's going to be for the game and everything else are probably folks that have never built a full-on park in Jurassic World Evolution 2 and have probably never built a full-on park in Planet Zoo or Planet Coaster or anything like that. These are the people that screamed the loudest. Seasoned park builders on JWE2, meanwhile, people like me, Evo, we understand the problems of modular building, and we weren't for it. For very good reasons. And I suspect that after Jurassic World Evolution 2's launch, I suspect that all the people that are currently shouting about how great modular building is are going to disappear or go silent. Because they're going to suddenly realise that actually, as fun as modular building sounds, modular building isn't fun. That's just what I think is going to happen. I don't think it's going to kill Jurassic World Evolution 3, but I think it's going to handicap it. Yeah, Cairo, I kind of agree. Crazy Creature 9. Fletcher, if you do, of course, are you from the UK? As you're from the UK, football is big. Do you support a team? Football is big in certain parts of the world and less big in others. Like, I would say if you're in, like, the big cities, Manchester, Liverpool, London, football is, like, really big. But in a majority of the rest of the UK, not as big as you would expect. I don't support a team because I'm just not into football. If there is a sport you could say I am into, it would be Formula 1. But again, I don't classify myself even as a fan of Formula 1. I have a passing, I watch the highlights. I take a passing interest in Formula 1 stuff. But I'm not religious about like watching the races or anything like that. Haven't been for some years now. Personally, I've never really understood the appeal of football because it's like they're so overpaid and they act like drama queens with the slightest glance. Yeah, I'm definitely not into football. I'm wondering if do we need like an actual path going up this road, or could we just have like a stop here? I think what we could do is just have like a Jeep stop. But the Jeep stops are a little bit frustrating to use, if I'm honest. Can you name a Dino Nova? If we get to placing dinos in this stream, I will consider it, Lightning Gamer. But I have to say that this stream probably won't have dinos in. Well, maybe. We'll see how we go. This is going to be quite a heavy building stream. Where is Kaya Denix's? Is it in entrances? No. Guests? No. Where is his entrance? Okay, what? Why can I not find his Jeep arrival entrance? It must be operations, right? Hello, Luna. It's crazy the amount of discord regarding Jurassic World Evolution 3 and Prehistoric Kingdom. Yeah, I want to talk about that in a minute, actually. Where is this? I really hope that the aviary in Jurassic World Evolution 3 is much bigger than the previous game. I'm so tired of seeing the Quetzalcoatl too big for its cage. Yes, I agree with you, Untamable King. It's one of my main criticisms of them putting Quetz into the game without giving us a new pattern of aviary. Oh, it's there. One thing I would say about sort of the aviaries at the moment, they don't appear to be that much different in size. It's difficult to tell because obviously the perspective of like screenshots and stuff, but Can I just see where the track is? Oh, for heaven's sake, it's on that side of the... oh no, I don't think that counts if I do that. I need to add the truck stop. Is it that side? No, it's the opposite side to the arrow. The arrow tells you where the jeeps, where the path goes into the park. Okay, so if I move this down ever so slightly, use the move control, and if I move it down to like here, let's have a look at where that tour track is. Yeah, that's almost like perfect positioning. Like, it's a bit iffy for there. Like, maybe if I shift it... I might have to shift this road a little bit just to make it work in the best way possible, but that's basically where it should be. Maybe we can resize the aviary in game with modular building. Perhaps, but see, that sounds really simple, doesn't it? Just add a resizable aviary. The problem isn't necessarily the aviary building, but it's the pathing of the creatures that have to live within it. Like, resizing the aviary requires the pathing of the animals to account for resizing the aviary. And that would be quite a difficult thing to do. So I suspect that the aviary is not going to be that different. Hello, Justin. Not very much. We're just really beginning on getting some new buildings and stuff into this particular build. So yeah, we're just doing some relaxed building at the moment. But yeah, let's have a discussion about the Prehistoric Kingdom Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm not even going to call it a debate, because I feel that that gives it more legitimacy than is actually worth. Let's call it what it is, and it's a stupid argument. Absolutely preposterous argument. I don't know who started it to use a playground metaphor, but I have in the last few days just seen so many. I wouldn't say they're like aggressive or nasty, but I would say they're not exactly friendly. Just, I suppose, sarcastic or kind of derogatory posts by both, not just not just by the Jurassic World Evolution 2 community, but also the Prehistoric Kingdom community. Like, both sides are doing it. And they're just being nasty at each other. You know, the Prehistoric Kingdom folks are going on about how shitty Jurassic World Evolution 2 is and was, and how Jurassic World Evolution 3 will probably be just as shitty. And the Jurassic World Evolution community is like going on about how JWE3 is going to kill the game and put the people out of business and everything else. And it's just really, I feel like, really horrible on both sides. And I don't really understand why that we have this sort of thing going on. It is illogical, King Giga. I would agree. It's really illogical. As an owner of PK, I don't get much enjoyment out of it as it's crammed with bugs, but the dinosaur models are 1000% better than Frontier. Yeah, Crazy Creature. I have Prehistoric Kingdom. The only reason I don't play it more is because at the moment the optimization is just not very good, and it needs that optimization before I can really consider it worthy of playing. Hopefully, when I get the new PC, which is hopefully going to be sorted out next week, Prehistoric Kingdom will run a bit better, and therefore I can kind of start playing it a bit more for you guys. Sup, Fletcher, it's Delta. Oh, hello. Do you want me to call you Delta or Dan's Doodles? it's up to you. Always going to have those people in the fandom. Yeah, I suppose that's a good point, Justin. Those sorts of individuals are always going to be there. I just find it really bizarre because it's like we're living in a time where we have two concurrent dinosaur park building games. One with a hyper focus on realism and a hyper focus on management and a focus on realistic dinosaurs and behaviors, which is being produced by people who would go to the level of having Nigel frickin' Marvin in the game. You know, the legend that is Nigel Marvin. And we have one game being produced by a reputable maker of park building games who is slowly learning what we want in park building games, who is making a park building game based off the franchise we all love. The fact that we can have both of those things at the same point in history and people are turning it into some sort of contest about killing off one another's games. It's just bizarre. And honest, it's so tribal. And it's just, you know, it kind of destroys your faith in humanity, really, because this is the same thing that happens with everything. You know, this just people hating on each other all of the goddamn time. You know, it's infested politics, it's infesting TV and films and media. It's just it's awful. And it will be the end of us, because I don't understand why people have to be right. You know, I have some pretty vocal opinions about stuff, but I've never said to anybody you're wrong for having the opinions that you do. I can not agree with you, and we can have a discussion about why I don't agree with you, and we can accept that position and, you know, learn a bit more about one another. But the idea that someone is wrong for having a different opinion, I just don't get it. In my opinion, they are too different to be considered killing each other. Yes, they are both park builders, but one aims us towards realistic, player-accurate simulation, while the other is more action-packed content. Yeah, I do. I kind of agree with you there, Crazy Creature. I mean, I find the idea of the people who ask which is better, Prehistoric Kingdom or JWE2, I've always maintained that's a silly question to ask, because they are too different. You can't really compare them. A better question would be, you know, for if you're asking Evo, like which do you find more enjoyable? And she would probably say Jurassic World Evolution 2 because it's easier to use. But she would also probably say Prehistoric Kingdom has some significant advantages, which you don't get with Jurassic World Evolution 2. And even though Jurassic World Evolution 3 is going for modular building, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a better modular building game than Prehistoric Kingdom is. You know, there's a lot more to it than just, oh, it now has modular building, you know. Let's all agree the superior park builder is Zoo Tycoon. I used to play Zoo Tycoon 2 a lot as a kid. And I loved that game. I loved the Walking with Dinosaurs mods for it. I was a modder even back then. I would say I have been a modder since day one. Like the first game I ever modded, Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. That was the first game I ever technically modded, altering the code and script of the game to allow for things. And I have been a modder ever since. My biggest worry about JWE3 right now is that it actually is the fact it recommends having a Ryzen 7. Yeah, exactly, Dynaman. So the rig I'm currently running on has a Ryzen 5 5600X. And seeing that recommendation is what has stimulated me in thinking I'm going to have to upgrade my PC. Because, let's be fair, Frontier can recommend that, but I'm going to take a wild, not too wild guess and suggest that the game is probably not going to be optimized that well, at least when it first comes out. So the chunkier the processor you have, the better. And I mean, it's a modular park building game. Modular park building games really do require chunky processors. So the best processor you can get, the better. Which is also going to be, I suspect, a factor in Jurassic World Evolution 3 probably not having a massive player base on launch. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to run it. I think a lot of the current fan base, which are on the younger side, are not going to be able to run the game. Or at least not run it in a way that just responds well to continual play. Fletcher, do you think Jurassic World Evolution 3 will ever have multiplayer? I suppose it depends what you mean by multiplayer. Yes, King Giga, I'll get round to that because I have a suspicion about that. So multiplayer is in both people on the same map? No, I don't think that will ever happen. Because that requires Frontier to have servers and, you know, spend money on having all sorts of stuff that at the moment is probably not needed. What I can see coming is what they have for Planet Coaster 2, which is you have a save file that you can both access and you can both build on that save file and share it with the other person you're building with. You can't build at the same time, but you have a shared save file. I could see that happening. I don't think there has ever been, and I might need to check this, but I don't think there has ever been a park building game that has allowed you to build the park at the same time as each other. Because I suspect that's a very difficult thing for a park builder to do, because park builders are very processor heavy because, you know, there's a lot going on in the background that they have to do. So I suspect that it won't be a thing for some time. I think it might eventually become a thing, but I think I think it will not be a recent thing. Play Lego Jurassic World. Oh, well, the processor needs for Jurassic World Evolution 3 have gone up because of the modular building. It is the modular building that has done it. The modular building requires immense processor power. That's why the requirements will have increased. Not to mention, it looks like they've got a new lighting engine as well, so that will also increase the, draw on various things. So, someone mentioned the sort of the map. Someone noticed the other day that there's 50 stars, but only 9 campaign maps. I suspect there's one map we are not seeing on that map, and I'm going to suggest that it's an Isla Nublar map. Similar to what they did with Jurassic World Evolution 1, where they have like a separate Isla Nublar, which you can go to and build on, and 5-star. That's what I'm going to think. Even though Isla Nublar was apparently destroyed by Mount Sibo, for a Jurassic game not to have Isla Nublar or one of the 5 deaths, Isla Sorna is a potential, or even Sanctuary Island is a potential. Alternatively, the other thing I think it might be is, you know how when Jurassic World Evolution 2 came out, there was the obvious missing gap where Dominion's Chaos Theory was going to go? It could be a rebirth St. Hubert Island that's supposed to be the missing 5 stars. Potentially. That's my 2 different theories. Either a Nublar or Sorna, or the missing rebirth island that will come post-launch. Or it could be in there at launch, but they're not allowed to show it because it could reveal the location of the island, and Frontier don't want that revealed until the film comes out. That's my 2 different ideas for that. By the way, I am aware that the news and stuff has come out for the game over the last few days, and I have been thinking about this. I'm not the sort of person who's going to make a new video every day because, well, for one, editing is tiring and stressful and it takes time. And Triclaw Gaming is not the only YouTube channel I have. I have another channel. So I can't really be, spending all of my time on one channel at the cost of the other. So what I'm going to do is kind of every week, I'm just going to make a cumulative video about whatever news and stuff we've gotten or whatever new things I've found. Which is why there is the new Jurassic World Evolution 3 news sort of channel on the Discord. Because I'm kind of going to be relying on you guys that, if you find something, to post it in there, if a new screenshot comes out, or if a new video comes out, or if something comes out that I haven't seen, I'm kind of relying on you guys to post it in there so that I can then do a video about it. And you could say it's like a Jurassic news. But it's not. It's not a Jurassic news, okay? Oh yeah, editing takes a lot of time. And obviously, some videos are easier to edit than others. Some videos take longer to edit than others. The prehistoric park retrospective review took more or less a solid month of editing. The 4-hour-long Jurassic World Evolution 2 retrospective review took 3 months. So, just tells you how difficult editing is. Would I accept the glorious King Pentaceratops if Frontier remodeled it? Yes. Six-hour video when. Well, Dan's Doodle / Delta. I have the Walking with Dinosaurs retrospective to do. Now, I suspect that one will end up as quite long when it's done. Because unlike Prehistoric Kingdom, unlike Prehistoric Park, with Walking with Dinosaurs, we actually have a lot more information about how it was made and everything. So there's a lot more to go into detail wise. Do we have anything that we could like? See, the problem with these is that they're sandstone, which doesn't really match. I suppose maybe we could bury 1 or 2 in as like maybe there was an earlier church on the site that was like older and kind of already ruined. Fletcher is locked in right now. Sorry, I am trying to keep up with chat. Any Jurassic Park legacy dinosaurs you think could make a comeback and be given a more memorable scene, like what they did with the Ceratosaurus in Camp Cretaceous? I haven't watched Camp Cretaceous, so I can't really give an idea on that. I would say I think it would be nice if some of Dominion's animals were given, a little bit more screen time. I think Oviraptor, Lystrosaurus, thinking of things like that. It seems very strange to me that Dominion added so many new species to the canon, and didn't really do very much with them. And I feel like the films still haven't really done very much with them, to be honest. Like, I know Camp Cretaceous did stuff with the baryonyx and things, but I would like to see the films do more with them again. Just because I feel like the films are a little more sort of geared towards the adult audience members. Oh, I'm glad I did, Rob. I still need to watch all of your current builds, to be honest. I'll probably watch it while I'm script writing the Walking with Dinosaurs retrospective, because that's going to take so long. So I can put it on and watch it. Well, talking of things I've been watching lately, so I've gone. This is like a total tangent. I've gone on a bit of a rabbit hole lately, and I found this female gamer who is playing Skyrim for the first ever time in 2025, and it's been quite enjoyable to watch someone who's never played the game before, like, try the game for the first time and seeing how she gets along with it. It's a really interesting series. I'm like 3 episodes in and loving it so far. Iguanodon and Dimetrodon deserve more screen time. Agreed. Dimetrodon especially, like, they added it, and they... I have to say, I think Dominion did the Dimetrodon really badly. I think they wasted what could have been potentially a great sequence. OBS is having trouble putting anything through. Oh, hang on. No, we're suddenly back. Now we've got proper frame rate. Proper kilobytes a second back. You're still live. Yes, I should be still live. I think we're back, folks.
You are.
That was very strange. So, I think the internet dropped out, and then OBS like threw a complete hissy fit and refused to send the signal back through to YouTube. But I think we're back. Sorry about that. Hack attack from Universal. All good. Excellent. Let's anyway, carrying on. What the heck just happened, Justin T? Well, I suffered a internet dropout, and OBS responded really badly to it. Honestly, with given the amount of money that the internet package is, I am definitely in the right mind to contact Virgin, our internet provider, about how often the internet service drops out. It's ridiculous. Right. Anyway, what were we talking about before things went wrong? Or if no one remembers, can we have a conversational topic? I need to decorate in here, don't I? Looks a bit bare at the moment. Oh, the streamer. Yes, the person playing Skyrim for the first time ever. But it's interesting. So seeing her playing it for the first time ever has made me tempted to do a Skyrim completely non-modded, no mods at all playthrough, just to go back and experience the game as it was back when it launched. So I'm considering doing that at some point, perhaps nearer to Christmas time. I wish we had like some signage. Oh well. How many mods are there for these open world games? Well, I can tell you that my usual Skyrim mod loadout comes to about 180 mods, usually. Something along those lines. 180 to 200 mods. It was buggy as hell. Well, yeah, obviously modding always comes with some potential pitfalls, but there are ways that you can lessen those potential pitfalls. Fletcher, if you haven't played Minecraft... I don't play Minecraft, unfortunately. I have no interest in it. I just can't get into the game. I know it's an amazing creativity tool, but I just can't, like, get into it to play it. I think it's the cubic nature of everything. I'm okay with like a modular building game where you have like different pieces, but when everything's a cube, it becomes, I feel, quite difficult sometimes to like visualize what you want to build. I think we need some flower arrangements around here. Yeah, I actually think that that's fine. We don't need to go too much into the detail over on this. You know, it does its job of telling a story. You know, ad revenue. Well, crazy creature. Here's the funny thing: we don't have adverts on our videos. I don't place them in. Thank you for the donation, Untamable King. The way I see it is that at the moment the channel is just too small to make putting adverts on stuff worth it. And to me, I don't want to annoy people, for want of a better term. I don't want to annoy folks by putting adverts on my videos and streams when I would just rather they come and enjoy them and donate if they want to. You know, we might create a Patreon at some point, maybe. But at the moment, I'm happy not having ad revenue. Plus, the ad revenue sucks, honestly. It's really rubbish. Like, earning money on YouTube is just... Let's just say it's not as easy as other YouTubers make it look. Plus, I don't see this as a job. For me, YouTube is a hobby. YouTube is an opportunity for me to interact with folks that also like Jurassic and War Thunder and all the other games I play, and just, you know, enjoy myself and share opinions and views. And thank you, Untamable King. Okay, so in a minute we will have a look at putting some dinos in here, or at least thinking about what we want to do with this large area that Rob Earth has given me on this particular map. Rob Earth created this map for me, if you didn't already know. It's a interesting map. I like what he's done with it. Okay, so eventually we'll have like a small town hotel area up here. And it's going to overlook this section here, which I just want to have as one like really big open dinosaur reserve, essentially. Because it's kind of kept in by these natural barriers. So I feel like it makes sense for us to have dinosaurs living here, wild and free. My respect levels have just peaked. A man for the people. Well, you know, it might be an old-fashioned way of thinking about YouTube as being it's a hobby, not an industry. But that's how I've always seen YouTube. It's a place for people to express themselves. And I don't necessarily think that expression has to be monetized. Allow people to donate, sure. But the way everything's become about ad revenue, I think, has been not necessarily a good thing. Some splash effects there over that lovely waterfall that Rob Earth has provided. I would say, Rob Earth, I think your choice of vegetation is a little one-dimensional, so I might change that. But I do like that waterfall. My friend Hunter, aka TF Ultra Goji fan, has the same mindset of YouTube is more of a hobby for him. Yeah, because at the moment I don't work. I'm going through some mental health stuff, and you know, if I didn't have YouTube to sort of focus the mind on, then I would go a bit stir crazy, I think. So just realised I hadn't had a drink for the last hour while talking. So, okay, so yeah, this area I really like, and I quite like the idea of perhaps going a little bit wild with it. I know it's supposed to be the UK, And the UK is not known for volcanic activity. But I kind of want to have an area of this lower part as a geothermal spring. Which I'm thinking about having... Well, actually, maybe it makes more sense for the springs to be up here. No. We'll have them down here because I feel like this patch in the base of this area here would be a perfect geothermal spring area. Now, I know this looks a little harsh. Actually, probably better to go over it in the dark first. I'm gonna make this a whole sort of geothermal spring zone. Because it's empty, and I don't want everything to be trees. And now I want to add some interest to the map. We'll turn the intensity right down. Fletcher, I need to know from an expert, what are the odds of Pentaceratops being added to the base game as it is? I need to know the stats. I don't know. The whole sort of what species are going to get cut, what species are going to remain. I've seen all sorts of different people's like ideas and how they're going to do it. I don't have the foggiest notion about how Frontier are going to determine it. All I can say is I think we'll be surprised. Because Frontier, if anything, rarely ever do what we think they're going to do. I think we'll be surprised by what they eventually decide. If there's one thing you can always rest assured Frontier will do, it's that they will do something you just cannot expect. Okay, now for these springs, we're going to put in some, water patches. Maybe have some relatively big ones. We'll connect one or two up to the river. I feel like that makes sense. Just going to put some slightly lower terrain around each patch. Just to create some interest. That's good. So you're saying there's a chance... I mean, I think there's a chance for every animal. But I do think the longer the animal's been in the franchise, the more of a chance it has of being in the next one. Maybe it makes more sense for these to be black. Yeah. Oh, I had a bit of a revelation when I was moderating Evo's stream earlier and seeing some of the comments certain people were making. And I've had a revelation about how best to describe the player base of Jurassic World Evolution games. It's extremely nerdy. So there are two types of people that play Jurassic World Evolution: model railway people and train set people. Now this is coming from my love of model railway. People who like model railways for Jurassic World Evolution 2, in terms of like thinking about Jurassic World Evolution 2, those are the people that want to create, a realistic, well-built park that focuses on management, and they're people that want to create something impressive and focus on the fine details and want to get things right and everything else. Train set people, in this analogy, are people that want action, that don't really care about accuracy. What they care about is fun and whether trains will crash often and, that sort of thing. And that's how I feel now about the community having like thought about the sorts of stuff I was seeing in chat today. Is this idea of like this, I don't want to like call anybody out for it, but it was a number of people that were saying things like, wouldn't it be cool if the lagoon creatures could leap out of the water and attack the balloon tours and destroy them? And I just thought that's such a train set sort of perspective. It's like, I want to be able to like cause carnage and have trains crash into each other and not really care about the idea of building a park at all. Which is, one way to have a view. I'm just putting the invisible fence in now, even though I know I'm going to have to remove it later when I do the decoration, just because I want to be able to put some dinosaurs in here in this stream and not have them escape everywhere. Well, I suppose that is a good point to make, Untamable King. I think for some people, Jurassic World Evolution won't be finished as a game franchise until people can do everything on it that people... Can I find the snap point? There it is. That until you can do everything on it that has been depicted in the Jurassic World or Park films. So until the Indominus Rex can leap out the lagoon, until the Mosasaur, can leap out a lagoon and kill the Indominus Rex, people are still going to say that the game isn't finished. That's the sort of perspective I get from them. I'm not gonna lie, I want as much accuracy that my little flame of creativity can go, but my dumber side wants to see fights. I understand that maybe dinosaur fighting is one of those things that's, cool regardless of which side of the community you're on. Rob, some of this rock work I might have to redo. But at the same time, I'm like, dinosaur fights are so... I mean this in the nicest possible way. Caveman? That's honestly, when people say, oh yeah, but I want to see dinosaurs fighting, the first thing that my brain goes for is, you caveman. gonna have to be placing a lot of these down. But what I'll do is I'll do most of these off stream. But what I'll do is I'll do like a small area of them, so you can see how I do like a thermal spring zone. Fletcher makes a good point. I'm not trying to insult anyone, by the way. Like, if you love your dinosaur fights, that's fine by me. But every time I see people going on about them, my mind immediately thinks, "What a caveman!" That's going to be tricky. Now, what I might do is I might make one or two of these like deep water. Like this one I might make really deep, and this one I might make really deep water, so we can have like some bubbling cracks underneath. But like once you've placed the vents, you wanna place some rocks. I find stick to black rocks because they're blackened from the heat. Use them to cover up some of the vegetation here. Not a fan of dino fights because my favorite dinosaurs will always lose. I think the reason I'm inherently against dinosaur fighting is that I think it's just a really tired cliche now. Especially when like every Jurassic film ends with, "Oh, let's have the dinosaurs fighting." And it's like, maybe we could have the dinosaurs just living their lives and not fighting, because maybe I want to see the dinosaurs just being animals, Maybe, Colin Trevorrow, I didn't need to see a Therizinosaurus kill the Giganotosaurus at the end of your last film. Maybe I think they just should have gone and left Biosyn as it was. But I suppose my sort of thinking doesn't sell toys to children. Oh shit, I could have used... Oh! Hang on. I just remembered I had this chunk of ruin, and I was like, oh, I could have used this over by the church. Oh, I've accidentally flipped it upside down. Oh, I wonder if I can hide. I wonder how much of this I can hide. It's gonna have to go that way around. Give me a bush. Just give me a small little bush. Hides that. Yeah, I might put a couple more of those around. I forgot about that. Right, let's put some vegetation in here. Now, when it comes to vegetation around the volcanic springs, I tend to be sparing, because not many types of plant can legitimately survive that sort of heat. So I find it makes sense to use like smaller plants, things maybe you don't use elsewhere in the park. Obviously, also, some of these dead palms, dead pines. Pines is the word I was looking for. Dead pines work well around here as well. Just helps to give it that feel. And I've got some dead trees, some other dead trees in here somewhere. Yeah, this guy. Just helps to stimulate that sort of volcanic feel to it. But again, if you make sure you're putting in like some things that are still a little green, just to take the edge off. This one, what we'll do is we'll sink this one down into the ground just for a bit of height difference. There we go. Yeah. As someone had a hot take, Untamable King. Where is this hot take? The Giga in Dominion honestly didn't deserve to die. He was just defending his territory, only to die in the end. I agree with you. I think the Giga should have stayed alive. If only because now it's dead. Like, what exactly have you achieved by even having it in the film? Like, the Giga, as I'm quite fond of saying these days, has done absolutely nothing for the franchise. It breathed fire at Ian Malcolm, and then it died. Like, it what was the fudging point? it's achieved basically nothing. Okay, and then what we do once you've sort of done the light vegetation, then we just get one of these guys, and I'm going to place it kind of relatively central, like that. There you go. There you have your thermal spring site. And then you can stick whatever animals you like in here, and it'll looks great. It killed one locust. Exactly. Yeah, so this one will be normal spring, so we'll have like 2 over there. And this one will be like another normal spring, so we'll have like 2 over there. This one, so I want it to be deep water. So what I'm going to do is just create a slightly deeper chasm. That's good. And then we're going to grab our placeable water, which is this. And we're going to place it down, and then we're going to pick it up till I'm going to say about there. Yes. It's not sticking out anywhere. That works. And then this one we're going to, because we've got the slightly deeper water, we can put in the bubbly vents. Now, I am going to just drop them down slightly to hide as much of the coral as I can. There we go. And then the rest of those coral patches we can just hide with rocks. I don't necessarily mind like the small spongy things still being there, because you do get extremophile bacteria and stuff growing around volcanic vents, which makes sense for the sponges. It's mostly the bigger ones, the bigger patches I want to get rid of. Yeah. Nice. Owen will come back and strangle D-Rex. Oh, please, Joe, don't give them ideas. I really hate Chris Pratt now. You know what's really annoys me? Like, I didn't hate him, and I didn't properly hate him until the Jurassic World films. Like, prior to the Jurassic World films, I was like, he's kind of annoying, but he's not that bad. And as a result of the Jurassic World films, I now can't stand the guy. Like, the minute he's in a movie, I just like immediately hate the film. This is what happens when you put a bloody Marvel actor into everything. Like, I understand he was good in the Marvel film he was in, but like, did he have to be in absolutely every movie afterwards? I like the idea of like a species of like extremophile kelp living in here. Again, I know it's maybe not realistic 100%, but I don't see like why it couldn't be a thing. There's nothing to say it couldn't happen in a pond like this. Maybe one more patch at the other end. Yeah. Melissa, no, I have not seen that video. He went from Star-Lord to a man with a pack of raptors to an Italian plumber. Yeah, quite a career. Right. So I'm not going to touch much. Like, Rob Earth has done a really good job of like doing the forestry and stuff here. I'm not going to touch this too much, like the major patches of forest. What I might do is make some of these patches a little thicker. I think at the moment they're a bit, not very healthy. And if Britain has one thing, is we have some glorious forests. So I'm just going to go around and make them all a little bit, just generally a little bit more healthy. That's looking good. Going to put in a few ginkgos, because we do have a lot of naturally growing ginkgo around the UK. It's one of our native plants, is ginkgos. Maybe have a small patch on this side. Maybe a small patch over here. There we go. And I'll put in some orange trees as well, just to match like the other patches of woods and stuff that we have growing. Yeah, I'm thinking obviously we need like a proper sauropod in here for this lower area of the park. And I'm thinking it's quite a big area, so we could probably get away with having a decent sized sauropod. Yeah, Robert. You're ah. So this is going to be the sort of thing that on Jurassic World Evolution 3 you won't be able to do. You cannot use this sheer quantity of pieces in one area. Like, you're going to have to build efficiently in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Like, these 3 rocks here, get rid of them. Like, let's get rid of that one. Let's move this one over there and drop it down. These 2 can stay. We've got like so many here. Like, we can cut that down. This little one you can get rid of that one. This one will just shift and lower. This one we'll get rid of. All these little ones, just get rid of them. Or at least, like, get rid of, if you want that, get rid of a big one. Then we can have like a few little ones clustered. And this one we can just twist and sink. This one at the back, no. Get rid of that one. What have you? Oh my lord! Oh, Rob. Rob, what have you done? Okay, this tree. We'll replant that tree and that one once we're done with this rock. So, what have you done here? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, let's get rid of that rock. 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 Keep this one. Have it a little lower down. Get rid of this one. Twist it slightly. Get rid of that one. Keep this one. Let's have it in line there. Keep that one there. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Just have like a couple of rocks around the edge. Still looks rocky enough. What are you cooking, Robert? He says. Well, Robert, what I'm doing is pointing out that you are a little inefficient with your placing of rocks, and we need to do some tidying up just to, reduce the piece counts of this area slightly. But that might be something I do off stream. But yeah. You see, it might not be as rocky as it once was, but it's not going to use up a million pieces when you can get it done with half the pieces. Jurassic World Evolution 3, you're gonna have to build with efficiency in mind. Otherwise, you'll never be able to build anything close to a full park. Okay, so we want a stegosaurid in here. Stegosaurid. We want a large sauropod in here because, we've got a lot of land to play with, so sauropods are a good option. And I think maybe let's put in a sauropod and let's put in a stegosaurid. Okay, so we're going to go with a stegosaurid and a sauropod. I did just save that, right? 2238? Yeah. You cannot have enough rocks. Well, you can, Robert, when the game breaks. Right, let's go and get ourselves a sauropod. The Chinese one, says King Giga. For the stegosaurs, I don't know. I kind of feel like we want to have some big, chunky ones. Notepad. So, sauropod. So, we've already got Antarctosaurus in the park. I mean, I'm tempted to go because I've got this new variant of Camara that makes it look a little less ugly. Although its patterns don't work. But like... So we could have Camara in. We could do Dippy. I suppose Dippy we should put in the park somewhere because of, the Natural History Museum. Memenchi. The problem with Memenchi is his skins are ghastly. Like, I feel like there are very few good looking skins on this guy. Got the Supersaurus as well. I feel like I got enough sauropods in my build of Jurassic World Evolution 2 to build a sauropod only park. I think let's do Camarasaurus and Diplodocus. They're not massive sauropods, but I think they're interesting nonetheless. So let's see if we can find a decent male skin for our Camara. I have to say, the guy that did this mod didn't really get the skins working nice on it. That's an interesting skin, though. These aren't working. That Camarasaurus got thick since the last time I had it in a park. Where was that? I do quite like that one. That almost reminds me of the colors they had in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I don't know though. I feel like maybe we need something bigger. Maybe we'll have these at the top end. I feel like we need a big sauropod in that area. So in terms of big boys, maybe we should put Mementian. I've got quite a lot of their statues around the park. Then again, I've got Brachy statues around the park. We're looking at sauropods, King Gear. And Stegosaurus is not... JP3 Brachy. I use the JP3 Brachy too much, I feel. I just can't stand the basic dread face. It's so fucking ugly. You know what? We'll go with Alamo. Alamo has been like one of my favorite sauropods in the game. And I have this horrible feeling that Alamo is going to get cut. So let's put, since this is the final park, I'm probably going to get done before Jurassic World Evolution gets launched. Let's put Alamo in here. And let's make him, I really love this orange. So we'll make him orange with, orange with the green. Okay, orange with the yellow, actually. That'll be our males. Actually, let's have two males. Okay, so Alamosaurus. Male 1 is going to be Great Sandy Desert with lithobates. And male 2 is going to have Calcarana instead. Like, because the thing about the Calcarana skin is it has that yellow in the middle, so it's almost like it's a random mutation that it's got green colors instead of the yellow. And then the female skin, obviously no pattern, and we'll make we'll make the females much lighter in coloration, so Death Valley. Okay, and then we were going to pick a Stegosaur, so I have quite a few Stegosaurs to choose from. I prefer Werho to the Stegs. I just don't like either of these Stegosaurus designs. I just think they're both awful. And I rarely ever see anyone use Werho. But what I'm actually going to do is we are going to use these guys. And what we're going to say is these are actually not Kentros, but these are Decentrurus, which is the only British stegosaur known to exist. And we're going to claim these are Decentrurus for the park. So let's find a decent-ish skin, something that stands out amongst the others. You know, that green's quite nice. That's such a classic dinosaur green. That's a I like that. Okay, we'll go with that. And then we'll give the males. Why do they do this? Why don't they give dinosaurs color? Honestly. I like the orange on the plates, but I do like the blue on the plates on this one. Okay, so this is our male. These are our males. So great sandy desert and Papurana for our male. I swear Lexovisaurus is British. It is a bit dubious. That's a good point, Smaug. I forgot about Lexi. I mean, you say it's dubious, but I think the Decentrurus is also dubious. Like, Decentrurus and... Well, that's you say it doesn't look like Decentrurus, Berenson, but actually we have no idea what it does look like because there's so little of it that we found. Oh, that's funny you should mention Scelidosaurus, Crazy Creature 9. I'm literally a video script I finished writing today. I mentioned Scelidosaurus in that. Well, in any case, we're going to use these guys. To do the dinosaur colors properly, you need to see them in their habitat for camouflage. That's not how I do my dinosaur colors, Faster. I don't really make my dinosaur colors based off camouflage, because if that's what you do, you end up with just boring dinosaur colors. Okay, so the females, we are going to remove the pattern, at least for now. I want to find a color that goes with that gray. That's interesting. That red, it almost goes to that gray. Actually, those two... hang on. Those two, I would say, are a closer match. What does this look like with Papurana? Better. Okay. Slight change. Amazon rainforest. And Papurana for our males. And then our females will be Great Sandy Desert. And what we'll do is we'll just give them quite bland pattern. You see? Just a colorless stripes. So Great Sandy Desert and Pulcrana. Okay, let's go and get these guys in the area. Yeah, Faster. I think the reason that was just like a bland background is because the game kind of has to load everything into it. And I think if it had to then load an environment as well, I think it would be too much for it to handle in that sort of area. My message has become a particle effect. Sorry, Untamable, did I miss you saying something? Let me have a scroll back. Oh yes, my favourite Kentro Pierce. Oh, you like the Kentro, Count Cretaceous Kentro. Interesting. Right. Park is not going to be open because we like our frame rate. Let's just like chuck the I wonder if it will be alright if I attach the hatchery to this path, if it will kick up a fuss or not. That's the wrong type of thing, isn't it? I want I want that one. Okay, so let's have a look here. Alamo, modify. I have a feeling the current waterfall mods will be better than the waterfalls implemented in the new game. Funny you should say that, Faster. Something I noticed about the depiction of those waterfalls that we've had so far, they didn't really look very active. It just looked like there was a sort of sheen across the rock. It didn't really give the appearance of a lot of movement, of a lot of splashing, of a lot of like activity, which is what you get with waterfalls. It just looked like they had just stuck a sheen, like a glass texture, to the rock. Okay, there's our 2 males. While we're getting them in, let's get the females ready. They also didn't look like they formed a normal waterfall. Waterfalls are formed when the soft rock below erodes. The one in the trailer looked like it was an extremely steep stream. Yes, exactly. Like it didn't like create a plunge pool or something. I feel like a better solution would have just been to give us placeable waterfall decorations or placeable water effects that we can create into a waterfall, like what Planet Zoo does. And we'll have 2 females in here. I also suspect that the actual sort of process it has of creating the waterfall I suspect is going to be one of those things where we pull our hair out trying to get it to do it correctly. Kind of similar to how we already struggle to get the path to do what we want properly. I suspect the waterfalls are going to be a bit like that. Slightly inconveniently frustrating. Remember, fellas, what we see is currently pre-alpha footage. Yeah. They've got, what, 4 months to polish and finish the game, ready for launch. I suspect we are going to end up with another buggy launch. Hello, King Giga. Yes, I know stream's going into overtime. I just wanted to get our dinosaurs in that we had selected. And then I will end the stream. Auto rock formations will be good, but again, I suspect the effect might become a little like overpowering, and it might be good to have some control and be able to. Oh, that is literally screenshotty worthy. God damn, not being able to put the camera lower to the ground. There's literally one of our males and one of our females already getting to know each other. No worries. Perhaps this has proven that the female Alamosaurus prefers the green to the yellow. Oh, and one of the males and one of the females... It just looks so stupid, doesn't it? Just have them circling around each other. Anyway. Caveman fight. Anyway, this is we haven't really achieved much, have we? We built a road, we built a little cliffside ruin, and then I've barely touched this. Why is it... Oh, I'm useless at building stuff at any rate of speed. I do apologize. That's not a lot of work for 2 hours, is it? Anyway. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. It's been a nice, relaxed sort of building stream. Next week's video is all ready to go on Wednesday, and obviously we'll be back on stream on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday as normal. I think it's only Fallout and me on Wednesday, so I think it might just be a Fallout 4 stream or something. We'll figure that out. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't done already. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, all the usual YouTube-y stuff. And I will see you guys next week. But until then, wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your Sunday nights. Stay safe, and good night.